Welcome to Uprising, which is the name of the show.
Thank you.
The film Peeply Live tackles a number of issues in rural India, which aren't often portrayed in Bollywood films. How important was it for you to make a film about stories about an issue like farmer suicides in rural India, which is so important but is not very well known, especially outside India?
Yeah. Well, I feel that Peeply Live is not really a film about farmer suicides. I think it's in the backdrop of farmer suicides. Because the film doesn't really go into the issues that farmers are facing or why this epidemic really has been, spreading for so many years now. So it's not a film about farmer suicides, but it's to be seen in the backdrop of that. It's a film that's more about the growing divide between urban and rural India, and how as a society we are concentrating all of our energies, our resources, our wealth towards cities, and are ignoring our villages and the rural parts of India, which is where the bulk of our population lives really. And as a result, our villages are not, life-sustaining in a healthy manner. And that in turn results in a lot of migration from villages to cities. So in villages we don't have schools often, and medical facilities, electricity sometimes, even basic stuff like water and electricity. So I think it's a film that's really, this is what the issue is really in the film. And it, on a certain level, is also a film about survival. So while it's a satire about civil society today and takes a humorous view of the administration, the political scenario, the media, or civil society in general. Excuse me. So it's also on a certain level a story of survival. So each one of us, politician, journalist, civil servant, or someone like a district magistrate, or even Budhiya, who's a farmer, a villager, each one of us in our own environments, in our own situations, is doing what he or she thinks he needs to do in order to survive. So it's a story about survival, and each one reacts in their own way.
Now, when the film was screened at the Melbourne International Film Festival, it was in the category called Not Quite Bollywood. How is Peeply Live different from mainstream Bollywood fare?
Well, it is very, though the Melbourne Film Festival is I think it's screening there on the 7th of August, let me just correct you there, but it's screened at Sundance and Berlin, and it's a film that it's very different from mainstream Bollywood films. It's not a mainstream Bollywood film. It's just a story that I loved, and a script that I read, which Anusha Rizvi has written and directed, and I just loved what she wrote, and I found it really funny and moving and also heartbreaking and sensitizing in a lot of ways, because I live in a city and have lived all my life in a city, and often I'm not even aware of how life in rural India is. So I just loved the script, and I wanted to be part of it. I could see straight up that this is not a film that is going to be easy to market or to even convince the market to accept as a film. But it's something that excited me, something that I felt, really moved me and engaged me. And so I just went ahead and produced it. I was aware of the challenges that I have in front of me. And it's also a film that I believe has the potential to engage a world audience. It's a film that I think would connect with audiences from all across, from different cultures. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reach out not only to our traditional audiences for Indian films, but to audiences who have, who may have never watched an Indian film before, or may have just watched Slumdog Millionaire. But so actually, Indian films, or Bollywood as it's popularly known, doesn't make any one kind of film. Yes, the bulk of them are musicals, and the bulk of them are films that have larger than life storytelling, and have a lot of hope in them and a lot of romance in them. But a number of them now for the last few years have been films which are really offbeat in that sense and don't fall into that category.
So Bollywood is evolving, in your opinion?
Well, I think everything is changing constantly. So I think cinema in India is also changing. I think audiences are changing. I think filmmakers, younger filmmakers are coming in who have different voices and who have different stuff to say. And I think that over the last 10 years, if you look at the films that have really succeeded and have gone down well with audiences, a number of them have been films which don't fall into that, description of what is conventionally known as mainstream Bollywood.
Now, farmer suicides are a huge issue in India, and as you said, it is a backdrop for the film, but it's a very grim subject. But Peeply Live addresses this in a almost comedic, or I should say satirical manner. Why was this approach, you think, effective?
Well, I mean, this is a question more for Anusha, I think, who's written the film, and I don't know why she chose a satirical view of what is happening, but I think it's more engaging that way, perhaps. And so this is something that's come from her, and she's been a journalist before she made this film, and she, I guess, through her experiences on the field, has come up with a lot of what is in the film and a lot of what is in the script. So I think her choice of it being a satire, I think it connects more easily with people. Since humor is in the film, you find it funny, but while you're laughing, you're also kind of feeling bad, and you're thinking, should I be laughing at this? I don't think I should be laughing at this, but it's funny, and also very thought-provoking, I think, on a lot of levels. So I think I personally really liked what she wrote, and I think when I saw the film after its first cut, because I was not there while they were shooting it, and I was not involved until the first cut stage, I was really happy to see what she had done. I think it's not an easy film to execute, and she's not been to film school, and she's not really assisted any filmmakers to learn from them. And it's quite amazing to see someone like her, execute so well what she has written onto screen. It's a very layered script. It's got a lot of characters. There's a lot of chaos in the film at many times, and while there often is a lot of chaos on a film shoot, but that's usually behind the camera, and to create chaos in front of the camera and make it look natural is not easy. So when I saw the film, I felt that it feels almost as if what you're watching is actually happening, and she's kind of hidden cameras and is capturing what is happening. So I thought she's done a wonderful job. I'm really happy with her work.